Well, speaking of cars, holiday travel now in full swing. Many of you will be driving to your destinations. That's why Highway Patrol say extra troopers will be on the roadways to crack down on speeding and impaired drivers. Tonight, our Lulie Ortiz had a ride along with Port St. Lucie police. She has a story tonight about what they're doing to keep our roads safe.
Yeah, police have zero tolerance for this, and more eyes are out there watching tonight. Meantime, a DUI crash survivor is making her story and her pain very public, hoping to change the minds of drivers who risk the lives of other people and their own when they get behind the wheel impaired. As the Port St. Lucie Police Department steps up patrols in the area.
I am incredibly grateful for the life that I have now.
24-year-old Maggie Eddison details her traumatic experience and the lifelong recovery process after surviving a head-on collision with a drunk driver 2 years ago.
I will be facing complications and pain for the rest of my life.
Back in September of 2020, the driver was going the wrong way on Crosstown Parkway near Eroso Boulevard before slamming into her car. It took first responders about 30 minutes to get her out of that smashed vehicle and straight to a hospital. The college student says she was closer to dying than surviving.
I completely shattered the right side of my face. I had an orbital blowout.
Open fractures on her arms and leg, organs punctured.
And now I have a rod that goes from top to bottom. Even though it's one of my more gnarly scars, I broke my humerus, I broke my sternum, and about 12 ribs, one of which caused a pneumothorax and punctured my lung.
The crash left her with physical and mental scars that may never fully heal. It's a crucial reminder that a drunk driving crash impacts a lot of people, not just those inside the vehicle at the time.
It didn't just affect me, it affected a lot of people. And I just think that should be considered before you drink and drive.
People are driving impaired at all times of the day.
Her story is one of the many reasons why police, like Officer Kevin Farquharson, is out tonight. We're getting an exclusive ride-along of what they call Operation Drunk Elf to keep us safe, as there's an increase of impaired drivers right now.
It's 2022. There's more than one way to get home. Plan ahead, friends, family, ride-sharing services.
So far this year, there's been 227 DUI arrests in Port St. Lucie, and officers gave out 240 DUI-related citations.
Most typically what I get is bloodshot, watery eyes. You'll smell the odor commonly associated with alcoholic beverages. They'll be slurring.
Farquharson says some people may lose track on how many drinks they've had or think they're never going to get caught. This can lead to a lifetime of regret.
Now I have to go knock on their family's doors and be the bearer of bad news that they're never going to see their loved one again.
And shortly after our ride-along, police telling us that they made at least one DUI arrest, and officers will continue to be out there in full force for the rest of the year.
Well, sheriff detectives are now searching for a killer or killers who they say took the life of Lantana teenager.
Authorities found his body in the acreage Wednesday afternoon after his family had reported him missing.
Yeah, CBS 12's Al Pefley says that relatives are at a loss to come up with a reason why anyone would want to harm their son.
A makeshift shrine has been created here with photos and flowers in memory of 17-year-old Emmanuel Castaneda. How did his body end up here near the intersection of 120th Avenue and 75th Lane North, about a half an hour from where he lived near Lantana? That's one of the things about this case that puzzles his relatives.
I think it's awful.
Alicia Choksey lives in the acreage near where the body of 17-year-old Emmanuel Castaneda was found.
I would never thought that he would have been found over here, let alone murdered. This is like the first time I've ever heard of anything like this, and I've lived out here for over 15 years.
The boy's relatives are hurting.
It's been very hard and surprising because he's such a sweet boy, so we wouldn't imagine something like this ever happening to him. He was always happy.
This young woman, whom we agreed not to identify, is Castaneda's cousin. Now, just hours before Christmas, some of his relatives are gathered at the home of one of the relatives in Lake Worth Beach, trying to comfort each other while sheriff's detectives investigate Castaneda's murder.
It's been very hard, especially because he was like a brother to us, so it's like if they took a piece of us too.
According to PBSO, Castaneda, a senior at Lake Worth High School, was last seen December 17th. PBSO released a statement on December 20th asking for the public's help, saying he was missing and possibly endangered.
We never thought he would be in problems or anything, or that one day he wouldn't end up coming home. And we just had hope that maybe he was just gone for a bit and he would come back.
Relatives say Manny, as he was called, never came home Saturday night. He's missing, and so is his mother's car, a white Toyota Camry. A relative says around 7 p.m. Saturday, a license plate reader picked up the car's license plate near the South County Courthouse in Delray Beach. About an hour later, at about 8 Saturday night, he says Manny's cell phone pinged a cell tower near North Lake Boulevard and Coconut Boulevard, which is west of the Beeline Highway.
Did he have any trouble with anyone at school or anyone that might want to harm him?
I don't think so, not that I know of, no. He didn't really he was never that type of person. He was just a sweet boy.
Relatives say Manny liked boxing and playing soccer with his friends at John Prince Park, and he enjoyed detailing cars. He planned to join the Marine Corps after he finished high school. His family has created a GoFundMe page to help pay for his funeral as they begin to cope with the tragic loss.
We're still shocked and everything, but we're doing better little by little.
We reached out to PBSO for an on-camera interview. A spokeswoman said in a text message, quote, "We have nothing new to report at this time." According to one of the relatives, no funeral date has been set. In the acreage, Al Peffley, CBS 12 News.
Well, authorities now still searching for a 1-year-old boy last seen over in the Boca Raton area. According to Florida Department of Law Enforcement, this is Gabriel Ristic. He may be with Vinny Ristic. I'm not sure the relationship there, but authorities believe the two were driving in a 2014 gray Chrysler Town and Country with a tag number DQ83169. Gabriel was last seen on the West Glades Road area. If you have any information, you're being urged to contact Crime Stoppers or the Boca Raton Police Department. Boca Raton woman who devoted her time to helping families in Ukraine, now in need of help herself. She lost everything recently after her home caught fire. CBS 12's Lily Ortiz shows us how the community is now trying to help her this holiday season.
Disaster struck in Boca Raton for resident Marina Kapulovska on the morning of December 18th.
I and my granddaughter were ready to go to the church. It was about 10 o'clock in the morning.
A fire destroyed her home and belongings, leaving behind charred walls, burnt furniture, and piles of rubble. Her family, including her son and granddaughter, managed to escape with no injuries, wearing only their pajamas. They lost everything.
Everything was burned. I was lucky to save my documents. It was wet, but it was not burned. I'm very grateful for that. This is Ukrainian.
As a member of the Rotary Club of Boca Raton, an organization that gives back to those in need, Kapulovska has dedicated her time over the last year to helping Ukrainian refugees flee her home country from the war. She provides them a new lease on life in Palm Beach County, from picking them up at the airport, collecting supplies, assisting with housing, to even helping families with babies using subways as bomb shelters. The Rotary Club took notice.
Tragedy like this happens to everybody, but when it happens to one of your own, that gives back so much, it really makes us pause.
Club leader Vanessa Havener believes it's now this grandmother's turn to receive urgent assistance.
She's so modest and humble, but she has been helping 28 refugee families, and she's helping them change their visa status. She's helping them enroll their children in school, just like the people that she's helping right now. That's going to be it's the irony, that's going to be her greatest challenge.
And the Rotary Club of Boca Raton is collecting donations and have since planned a fundraising event next week for Marina and her family. Marina's church is also giving back, donating clothes and items to help her get back on her feet. For Marina, it's giving her hope.
I literally started to cry. And not because of belongings I lost, not because of everything, but because of the people. People are so nice, unbelievable.
And the Rotary Club of Boca Raton will be hosting that fundraising event at Prosperity Brewers. It's on Northwest 1st Street in Boca Raton. It's from 6 to 9 p.m. next Thursday, December 29th. And we have more information with this story on our website, cbs12.com. Just look under the local news tab.